What's up, my friends? Question for you. Does talk therapy really work? Or could a blend of plant medicine, or is it somatic therapy or hypnotherapy, could that help us heal and live a better life faster? Well, this, my friend, is going to be a probably quite controversial video, but hang with me, stick with me till the end. It's really good. So we know that the most common therapy modality in the US is called cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. It's also known as talk therapy. And the focus of CBT is really on helping a person identify and revise those distorted thoughts and belief systems that are causing stress disturbances in a person's life or their relationships. Now, this modality involves really establishing behavioral habits that help a person cope better with their situation. However, even while CBT is considered an evidence-based practice, the effectiveness is quite limited. Now, in one of the largest studies conducted by the National Institute of Mental Health looking at CBT for depression, CBT was only 1.2 points better than no therapy at all. So in this and other trials, CBT had an effectiveness rate ranging between 17 and 24% underneath these conditions, right? So if we look at that percentage rate of success, it's quite limited. And this makes sense now when I go back and I read about the success studies with hypnotherapy, which is a rate of 96% over talk therapy. So if we turn our attention to CBT and PTSD, there's another randomized control study done by the Psychological Association recommended for CBT for trauma treatment. And this is what an expert was stating from this summary. Now, the findings of the largest randomized control trial behind guidelines in 255 female veterans, the most frequent trauma was sexual trauma followed by physical assault. And patients received one of this highly recommended forms of CBT therapy in this control treatment. And here is what the study found. Nearly 40% of those who started CBT dropped out of the treatment. They voted with their feet about it being useful. They walked out and they said, this is not working for me. 100% of the patients were clinically depressed when the study ended. And at 6-month follow-ups, the patients who received the CBT were no better off than the control group. So 19 serious adverse events happened during this study, and the author noted that the patients basically needed to have more treatment. Now, I did not choose this study because it's an example, because it was maybe a poor study. I actually chose this study because it is arguably the best study that we actually have. So this is what we mean when we say that you didn't fail therapy. Therapy failed you. Now, our best state-of-the-art evidence-based treatments, my friends, have such a high failure rate, and that's what I wanted to bring to attention today. Now, the other reason I challenge talk therapy is that we know from neuroscience research that while there are parts of the mind that we can see and we can verbalize, there are much larger parts of the mind and the brain that are hidden from view, and they cannot be put into language, right? Or what is more commonly known as the subconscious mind. And as much as I have studied, this is where that trauma and that energetic holographic body is stemming from. So CBT is really a top-down approach where the treatment provides management tools, but it doesn't really provide that long-steady cure. Now, symptom management is necessary and it's a great skill to develop. However, we have the opportunity and the ability to work at a much deeper level with a combination of psychedelic medicine, hypnotherapy, to really integrate all of those 3 states of the mind for true healing. So symptoms like depression, anxiety, panic, addiction, all of that, it's really a bottom-up approach that is needed to tend to that unconscious part of the mind. And there is solid evidence suggesting that the symptoms come from life experiences that have taken place mostly in our childhood or from our family of origin, and they're often cloaked in disassociation. So the good news is that deeper processing with professional oversight with certain types of psychedelics, such as ketamine, which is legal, are excellent in engaging the subconscious and shifting that change. And this is not random, right? This is validated studies are so profound, and it's quite the opposite of how to really truly heal the mind and really do it from that bottom up approach, and to really get into the states of consciousness where your body and your mind are expressing those deep subconscious truths that have shaped you, and to transform them. Furthermore, they allow that really deep substantial bottom up that is long standing is going to transform, where you don't relapse into that previous trauma, unfortunately, that talk therapy tends to put you in. So I highly recommend reaching out to a professional. If you have a mental health professional you want to reach out to, or a hypnotherapist, or someone to really help you get into that autonomic nervous system and to shift that space with self-healing. And there's many modalities from the bottom up. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or you need support, please do reach out to me, whether it's learning more about microdosing, whether it's learning more about hypnotherapy. That is my jam. And for more videos like this, go to the Awaken Beauty Podcast. You can hit all those videos on YouTube, the Awaken Beauty Podcast. Until next time, all my love, all my light.